So let us begin with chapter 2, polynomials. Now let us move on to the next topic, that is factor theorem. So here is the statement. If p of x is a polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1 and x minus a is any linear polynomial such that p of a is 0, then we say that x minus a is the factor of p of x. Now to understand factor theorem, first of all you need to know what is the meaning of this term factor. So you should be knowing what is the meaning of the term factor. You should be knowing what is the meaning of the term. You should be knowing what is the meaning of the term factor. So what does this factor mean? I'll give you a simple example. Suppose I have two numbers. Say one number is 5 and other number is 30. Let me divide this 30 by 5. So if I divide 30 by 5, what am I going to get? 5 6 are 30. If I subtract, what is the remainder I am getting? The remainder I am getting is 0. So this 0 is nothing but the remainder. And if the remainder is 0, then I can say that this 5 is a factor of 30. So 5 is a factor of 30 because when 30 is divided by 5, we get the remainder 0. So if I take one more example, say 7 and say 53. Suppose there are two numbers. Is 7 a factor of 53? So 53 divided by 7, you're going to get 7 sevens are, you're going to get 7 7 the 49. And if we subtract further, 59 minus 49 is 4. So is 4, therefore this 4 is nothing but the remainder. So since the remainder is 4 and not 0, we say that 7 is not a factor of 53. So 7 is not a factor of 53. In the same manner, in polynomials as well, if the remainder comes out to be 0, that is, according to the remainder theorem, we know that when a polynomial is divided by x minus a, p of a is the remainder. So p of a is the remainder. But now if this p of a comes out to be 0, that is, if the remainder comes out to be 0, then we'll say that this x minus a is a factor of the polynomial. Let us take an example. So here is p of x is equal to 5x cube minus 2x minus 3. Now, suppose this be divided by a polynomial x minus 1. Suppose this polynomial is divided by a linear polynomial x minus 1, similar to this x minus a. So we know that the value of a here, is 1. So value of a is 1. So let us try to find out p of 1. So p of 1 has to be 0. P of 1 has to be 0 because we know that p of 1 is nothing but the remainder. P of 1 is the remainder because the polynomial is divided by x minus 1. So p of 1 will be the remainder, and if this p of 1 is equal to 0, that is, if the remainder comes out to be 0, then we can say that this x minus 1 is factor of this polynomial. So let us see whether we are getting 0 or not. So p of x is 5x cube minus 2x minus 3. So just substitute 1. So p of 1 will be 5 into 1 cube minus 2 into 1 minus 3. 1 cube will be 1, 5 into 1 will be 5, 2 ones are 2. So in the next step we are going to get 5 minus 2 minus 3. 5 minus 2 is 3 and 3 minus 3 is 0. Therefore we got the remainder as 0. Therefore we can say that yes, x minus 1, since this remainder comes out to be 0, we can say that x minus 1 is so x minus 1 is a factor of x minus 1 is a factor of 5x cube minus 2x plus 3 minus 2x minus 3, because p of 1 is 0, as this p of 1 is 0. Let us see few questions based on factor theorem. So check whether 7 plus 3x is a factor of 3x cube plus 7x. Now whenever we have a form of ax plus b, now we have this form. As of now, the sums that we have seen, all the numbers were like this. Say x minus 1.